Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marchello Currence back up in this rain, back up in this. So, this message is going to be about basically Jesus Christ and Islam in the Quran. Okay, I'm just going to go through it quickly. I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of philosophies and opinions of men. I'm not going to go through that. I'm going to use what Islam or the Quran says about Jesus. I'm just gonna go from there. All right. In the Quran, Jesus Christ is a prophet. Okay, Jesus Christ is a prophet. We all agree on that. A credible prophet, meaning being a prophet, meaning what he says comes true. That's what it means. In the Quran, he is a prophet. Jesus Christ is a prophet, right? So everything he says is validated according to the Quran. Because you can't be a genuine prophet, but the stuff you say is not true. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay? He is a genuine prophet in the Quran. So what does that tell us? That tells us that everything that he said, period, everything that he spoke has been validated by the Quran, by him being a prophet. There cannot be a such thing of a prophet slash false prophet. A prophet slash, but some of this stuff you saying is not true, but you still a prophet. No, it doesn't work like that. When you are validated as a prophet, that means everything that comes out of your mouth is valid. Everything that comes out of your mouth is valid. So, according to Islam, according to the Quran, Jesus Christ is a prophet. If he's a prophet, we don't even need to discuss anything else, because everything that he said, according to the Quran, is valid. That means canceling out everything he did not say and everything in validating every form of fashion of everything that he said according to the Quran. If Jesus is a true prophet, according to the Quran, according to them, they have to listen to everything he says. And if you take some of the teachings of the Bible, okay, as valid, and you validate Jesus as a prophet, doesn't it make sense to validate everything that Jesus Christ said in the Bible? So, if you validate the same person, Jesus Christ, that's the same Jesus Christ of the Bible. That means everything he said according to his Father, according to his disciples, according to everything is true, therefore canceling out everything he did not say. Because you validated him as a true prophet. If he is validated as a true prophet, right or wrong, everything he says is valid, right? Everything he says is true. Therefore, everything he says is true, therefore canceling out everything he did not say. I don't have to even argue, because Jesus Christ is validated as a prophet in that book. All I got to do is know that, and that's over. It's over. Whether you believe in whatever you believe about his life story and everything, whatever you believe and do not believe, It doesn't matter. You just validated him as a prophet. That means everything, he is a valid prophet. That means he's a valid prophet. Therefore, everything he said is true. Therefore, like I said, validating everything he said and everything he did not say is not of value, according to validating him as a true prophet. If you validate me as a true prophet, that means everything I say is valid. That means everything I say is valid. That's what it means. That's absolutely what it means. So that's the end of the story. We don't have to sit up and argue with them. We don't have to argue with anybody. There's good people that are religious, and all different types of religions. You don't have to argue with them. Specifically with Muslims, though, you don't have to argue with them about who Jesus Christ is. He is valid as a prophet in the Quran, period. That means you should follow Jesus Christ according to the Quran. If he's valid as a prophet, that's all I need. I don't need to hear anything else. I don't need to worry about any other scriptures from that book, from the Quran. I don't have to worry about anything else. The fact that he's valid as a prophet means everything he says is valid, and everything he did not say is not valid. That's all I gotta say. That's all. How can he be a valid prophet? He said, and then his words are not true. Half of his words are not true. How could he be considered a prophet and not everything he says is true? You don't see, I'm gonna keep it 100. You don't see the prophets of the Quran, like exclusive of prophets that you don't see in the Bible. You don't see them in the let me just put it this way. There are those that are there are characters in the Quran that are not in the Bible. But Jesus Christ is even in the Quran. Jesus Christ is even in the Quran. So that's how powerful he is. He's even in the Quran. That's how powerful he is. That's what I believe. He's even there. And he's valid as a prophet, which means we should take heed to what he says. Period. We don't have to discuss anything else. He is valid as a prophet. That means everything he says is true. Everything he did not say is not true. Okay? Everything he did not put his stamp of approval on, all this other stuff, no. Jesus Christ is a valid prophet. Therefore, we need to see all his teachings. We need to see all his teachings and everything he said and follow that. That's what we need to be following. Not, he's halfway a prophet and he was a prophet, but we don't believe what he said and we don't really know. Jesus Christ was esteemed as a prophet. That means everything he said as a prophet is true. Now think about all the scriptures he said. Think about in the Holy Bible. Think about all the scriptures that he said. Think about all of it now. Think about it. Think about all the stuff he said. Okay? All the scriptures. Him being the Son of God. Him being everything. All of it's valid. According to the Quran, validating him as a true prophet. Like I said, Everything that, if you validate me as a prophet, that means everything I say is true. That's what it means. That means everything I say is true. You can't say, well, I don't believe this, but I don't believe that. No. A prophet is someone who speaks according to the future, and everything they say is true. So, everything he said, even the prophecies, all validated according to them validating him as a true prophet in the Quran. We don't have to discuss anything else. You will try, many will try, but I'm not gonna discuss that. I'm not gonna argue with them. If you validate Jesus Christ as a prophet, that's all I need to hear. Everything he says is true. I can listen to everything Jesus Christ said. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me I can listen to everything Jesus Christ said. That's it. And I don't know why other people just didn't cut to the chase with about this. If he's validated as a true prophet in the story, I don't have to discuss anything else. And that means everything he said, everything is true. That's what it means. So for people for the Christians that don't know how to talk to, people in Islam, look, you don't have to go through a million scriptures. All you do is let them know, look, Jesus Christ is validated. He's validated in the Quran. That means everything he says is also validated. That's how that works. This is a whole different situation from anything else as far as qualifications. When you have a person that is actually esteemed as a true prophet, when you have somebody that's esteemed that way, that means everything they say is actually valid. That's what it means. So you don't have to sit up and play games and try to argue for God. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do any of that. All you got to do is show them he's a true prophet in the Bible, in the Quran. Therefore, everything he says in the Bible is true. And for people that are Jehovah Witness, all you got to do is ask them this. Do the 9 gifts of the Spirit operate within your body? The 9 gifts of the Spirit that's talked about in the Bible, do they operate in the body of Jehovah Witnesses? That's all you got to tell them. That's all you got to tell them. Just ask them can they validate that? That the gifts are operating, the 9 gifts of the Spirit, are they operating in the body, the members of the Jehovah Witnesses? And I talked to a lady that came to my door, a Jehovah Witness that came to my door, and she never came back. She never came back. Because the gifts of the Spirit, the spiritual part, the Jehovah Witness do not have. the spiritual virtues, the spiritual power the Jehovah Witnesses do not have. They don't have it. You don't hear them talking about it. But the Bible talks all about it. It talks all about spiritual power. Jesus Christ has spiritual power. He said, greater works shall you do because I go to the Father. So Jesus Christ said, greater works shall his followers do, meaning miracles. He said, greater works. Okay, so if they're not doing any great works, then what does that mean? That's not authentic. That's not the way. That's a religion set aside outside of Christianity. It's not Christianity. It's not. It's not, because the Bible makes it clear that the body of Christ will have the gifts of the Spirit. They will have the 9 gifts of the Spirit. So that's all you got to do with Jehovah Witnesses, is let them know clearly, look, I want to know about the 9 gifts of the Spirit operating in the whole unit, if you will, of the Jehovah Witnesses. That's what we want to know. And if not, if they don't have that, if they can't answer that, which they won't be able to, don't argue with them any further. Don't keep going through anything. Once you get that off, and you get that established, that's it. The same thing with back to Islam. If they can't tell you, once you establish that he's a prophet, and you establish that everything he says is therefore validated, don't argue. Don't go any further. In my opinion, I wouldn't go any further. He's already validated as a prophet. That's all you need to establish. Everything he says is true, according to them, validating him as a true prophet, and it's the end of the story. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to do.